Bro, if I knew how bad the economy was gonna be up to date, I wouldn't have been riding no bikes, playing no video games. I would have bought a house when I was 10. Bro, do you know how much they say you need to make an hour to be comfortable around this motherfucker? $66 fucking dollars an hour. $66 an hour, bro. Who the fuck making that?
The cost of living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable. And there are people that they know this, but then they'll still look at somebody else that's struggling and then tell them they're not doing good enough.
In my life where I no longer live paycheck to paycheck, I now live paycheck to 4 days before paycheck.
It's friendly PSA. 12 packs of soda are $12 now.
If the next 30 years are like the last 30 years, the average house will cost $1.6 million.
A complete financial failure. I make what everyone calls it, what she said, everyone calls a good salary, right? But I can barely save $200 a month.
60% of the American public is about to lose everything they have. People living paycheck to paycheck are about to go broke. The GDP numbers came in yesterday, and of course the economy receded, which I predicted 2 months ago, and people laughed. Mark my words, the second quarter is going to be far worse.
Welcome back to the page. Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Economic Lens, where we talk all things economics, especially inflation in and around America. So the cost of living is unreal in 2025, going into 2026. So we're going to watch some videos, give our take, and then we'll see you guys in the comment. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. That way you always get our content. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
Bro, if I knew how bad the economy was gonna be up to date, I wouldn't have been riding no bikes, playing no video games. I would have bought a house when I was 10. They did a study based on today's economy. Like, what should minimum wage be based on today's economy to make sure an American is comfortable living a day-to-day life, like with the prices, how the prices is up to date. Bro, do you know how much they say you need to make an hour to be comfortable around this motherfucker? $66 fucking dollars an hour. $66 an hour, bro. Who the fuck making that? That ain't even the kicker. You make $66 an hour. You work 40 hours a week. At the end of the month, guess how much you gonna have in whole? 10 bands. Oh no, but don't think you taking the whole 10 bands. You forgot about Uncle Sam. You're going home with 6,500. Maybe a 7-ball if you lucky. Okay, so eliminate all the bills and life expenses from that 6,500. You left, even motherfuckers who making $66 an hour after paying all their bills and life expenses at the end of the month, they only gonna be able to save a band or two a month. So regular motherfuckers like me and you was just cooked. We po. We just, at this point, we just on the internet seeing who can be po better. Who can be best at being po.
Definitely agree with this, brother. I should have started looking for a house when I was 10 years old. This is wild. My mom, she got a house when she was 21. I could never. That's wild. That's crazy to think about. It's almost impossible to get a house nowadays. A normal job that most people have access to, it's not enough to get a house. Barely enough to pay rent.
Especially being a sales agent right now in the field, man, I'm coming across houses that they look like my house, 1.7 million. And it's like, hey, the only reason that it looks like my house is because the staggered pay rate. Like, the guy that owns the house that I live in, because I rent, y'all, I don't own my house, but the guy that rents it to me, he bought it when the market was way different, so the house didn't cost that much. It didn't cost 1.7 million, right? But there's houses like mine in different states, millions of dollars. There's houses smaller than mine, 2.5 million in California.
There's apartments that cost more than houses.
Right. Not even to own the condo, like just to rent an apartment. It's more than your mortgage. At this point, it's becoming cheaper to own than to rent. Like, even us here, we're at the point where a couple of years of renting and the natural progression of rent prices going up, we're gonna have to go ahead and put a bid in for a house. Because if I'm paying $2,500 a month, I might as well pay $2,500 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta pay $2,500 a month regardless. Might as well own it. It might as well be in my name.
The cost of living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable. And there are people that they know this, but then they'll still look at somebody else that's struggling and then tell them they're not doing good enough. I want you to imagine somebody that makes $75,000 a year. That's a pretty high up wage in terms of like top earners in this country, $75,000 a year. And we're going to go through some things here. This is a person with no debt outside of a car. And please don't hit me with the, you can go buy a car for, shut up, you can't, shut up, stop saying ridiculous things. An entry-level decent car is $30,000. So this person who puts $200 a month into insurance and they pay 5% into their 401k, because shut up, people should be able to put money into their retirement. Because if you're not doing it now, you're never going to get to start doing it later. So after those two things come out of their paycheck and their taxes are paid, they bring home $53,850 a year from a $75,000 paycheck. Average rent in my state for a one-bedroom apartment, because an adult should be able to live by themselves, $1,700. That car payment at 6% for an entry-level, very reasonable sedan, nothing fancy, that car payment's $579 a month. Car insurance, $240 or so a month for a lot of vehicles in this day and age. You're a young person, you've got a nice job, but the insurance companies still want to screw you over. Food. You only cook at home. You never, ever go out. You only cook at home and you only eat decent quality food, because a human being should be allowed to eat decent quality food. You pay $879 a month for that. You spend $250 a month in gas. You wear and tear on your car $100 a month. $80 for your phone, $80 for your internet, $175 a month for your electricity, $70 for your water, $20 for your cash. You make $75,000 a year, and outside of a car payment, you have zero debt. Do you know how much money you have left over annually at a $75,000 wage? You do nothing. You don't own a Netflix. You don't go out on a date. You don't pay to go to a park. You don't go watch a movie. You do nothing. If you can't find it on the internet for free, you don't get to do it. If you can't cook it at home for your $800, you don't get to do it. You have $3,700 left over annually. That's like $320 a month. And there's going to be, well, that's $300. Shut up. Shut your stupid, contrarian, edgelord mouth. That's not a doctor bill, because God knows, just because we have insurance doesn't mean that we don't still pay far out the ass when we go to the doctors. People like to be entertained. They want to date. They want to... There's those of you out there that will tell somebody living like this on $75,000 a year before taxes that they are not doing what they're supposed to do, that they should get a second job, that they should get a side hustle, that they should get a better job. And the fact that you would look at somebody with no debt other than a car and say something like this to them means objectively you're a moron and you live in a fantasy world. This is unsustainable.
Man, got to give it up to dude right there. He was spitting bars. Man, I've been saying this since I started the channel. I'ma go broke to have fun. Not that having fun is more important than anything else, but I'm about to be broke regardless. I'm buying the PS5. I'm getting my taxes and I'm getting the gaming computer and having fun with it before everything just crumbles, because it's not sustainable. I might as well have fun with the technology and the car with the screens in it and all of that stuff now, right now. I can't wait until I'm 60, because the 60 for my parents ain't gonna be the 60 for me. No, I need the Tesla now. I need it now, because I'm not gonna be able to get it when I'm 70. I need the Cadillac now. I need the touchscreen phone now.
And I don't know if I'm ready for the free option that they're going to have later down the line. When we can't get anything and they try to give you handouts. I don't know what comes with that. Scary times that we live in. And you really got to cut back on a lot of stuff,
right,
in order to try to save something. You got to room up with people in order to afford stuff. You can't survive on your own, not without doing some stuff to make it happen. And that's beyond the normal means of doing stuff. Multiple jobs, extra sources of income, government assistance,
YouTube videos. Hoping that works, because we ain't making no money from this. You know what I'm saying? But
I like, share, and subscribe for real.
for real, like, share, and subscribe right now. Don't wait till I'm 60. Do it now. You know what I'm saying? I need a $60,000 check today, yesterday, because $75,000 annually ain't doing it no more. You know what I'm saying? Man, I remember growing up thinking, man, if I make $100,000 a year, it's over with. What? Penthouse living.
By the time you get $100,000, that's gonna be little money.
Right, that's rent. You know what I'm saying? We about to be spending money like a video game.
You look at a car and it's 1.8 million. Yeah, let me get that one.
All right.
You want this one? Yeah, let me get that one.
All right, like,
I'm gonna come get that one tomorrow.
this is about to be GTA in real life.
I've reached the point in my life where I no longer live paycheck to paycheck. I now live paycheck to 4 days before paycheck.
It's friendly PSA. 12 packs of soda are $12 now.
If the next 30 years are like the last 30 years, the average house will cost $1.6 million. Okay, so as we near the end of 2025, I thought we should take a look at the high cost of living everybody's dealing with right now. I would hope that I could go back to this video at the end of 2026 and see that the prices have gone down. But if what we've seen over the past few years is an indicator of what's to come, I think it's only going to get worse. We have a ton of stuff to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with some screenshots that I found and compare it to previous years. First one here, 1978, a student earning minimum wage during the summer could afford to pay a full year's If the next 30 years are like the last, by 2025, you will see prices like this. Okay. If the next 30 years are like the last 30 years, the average house will cost $1.6 million.
Yeah, no, that's painful and that hurts.
Yeah, we're on a sad decline. Okay, a new car, if the 30 years are like the last 30 years, will cost $218,165.
I can't afford that, Brian.
Which is the cost of like a very small house in New Jersey.
Oh my goodness.
Guess how much average rent will be in 2055?
Let's go $4,500.
It's going to cost $6,500 per month in 2055.
I'm trying to guess with you, you know?
How much do you think a cup of coffee will cost in 2055? $28 a cup.
No, that's can't be real.
It is 100% real.
Oh my goodness.
How much do you think a gallon of gasoline will cost in 2055? $16 a gallon.
Yeah, insane.
And then the opposite way, guess how much minimum wage will be in 2055 comparatively to all these prices?
Yeah, it's not going to be as high. $35.
No, $12.36 per hour.
Across the country.
How are you going to afford a $1.6 million house?
There's no real way to tell if that's accurate, because there's no real way to see into the future like that, right? But it does make sense that it would get to that point with the prices. Now, as far as the minimum wage, that's assuming that people want the minimum wage to go up, because right now the minimum wage should be more than that 12 whatever. The minimum wage should be way more than that 12.36. And so I'm not really sure what metric they're using to determine how often it's going up, but that's just provided that the powers that be concede and raise it, which I'm willing to bet in 2055 it's still 725. Right. I'm willing to bet that.
It's ridiculous. Because it's going to have to jump to 12 the first time they change it.
Right.
So it can't be 12.36.
Right.
By 2055. Not at the rate everything is going up.
Right.
You're not going to be able to afford a $28 cup of coffee.
Right. You got to work? What is that? 2 hours and some change in order to afford a cup of coffee?
Right. That coffee a day is going to be a third of your spending.
Right. People wouldn't work for that. I don't think people understand the limits at which humans will take things. Because I think people think that no matter how little people are getting paid, that people will still work. And it kind of works in a slavery sense, where you get so downtrodden to the point where you'll work for provision, which turns into slavery, because now you live on their land and their shack in the back. They feed you, they clothe you, you work for them, and it's that dynamic. But in the world that we're getting into, I'm not working for nothing. You understand? You can't provide a roof over my head. You can't give me clothes. You can't give me food. You can't give me enough money to get said food. You're struggling to get said food. Everybody's struggling to get. I'm not about to go out here and toil in the fields for you, where you're my boss. Oh no, I might go till my field, but I'm not about to go work in your vineyard for nothing in return. No, 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 I can't do that. No, sir.
In America?
And that's what I fear is going to get to that point where there's going to be nothing left. There's not going to be any, oh, I'm working for $12.36. If those prices get like that and you offering me $12.36, no one's working there. I'm not working at McDonald's. I'm not doing it. I would rather be homeless on the street than to work at McDonald's, because working at McDonald's, I'm still working, busting my butt, doing everything, and still got to go hungry. Oh, nah, I might as well just go hungry. Because either way, I'm going hungry.
36 don't even do nothing for nobody today.
Right. I couldn't do nothing with $12.36 now. That would be it.
I think minimum $18 an hour in the hood.
I feel like a complete financial failure. I make what everyone calls what she said, everyone calls a good salary, right? But I can barely save $200 a month. Sometimes she says she feels guilty buying a $5 coffee. And I told her the same thing that I'm going to tell you all today. If you're making what society calls good money, but you still feel broke, if you're wondering where all your money goes every single month, if you feel like you're doing everything right, but still can't get ahead, this video is going to change everything for you. Listen, I need y'all to dial in and stay locked in on today's show, because here's something that I discovered. A new study just recently came out. I have it right here on my desk. Came out showing that families need almost $10,000 more this year just to live the same life they lived last year in 2024. That's $10,000 more. So by the end of today's show, you're going to understand exactly why your paycheck doesn't stretch like it used to. And more importantly, what you can do about it. Because we have to stop complaining about the White House, about Donald Trump. We have to get into a place to where we start taking control of our money. So I need y'all to hit that like button if you're ready for some truth. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because we're dropping this content every Monday and Wednesday. And this year, I want to help families. I want to help you get out of consumer debt and change your financial future. So I want to start with some real talk about what $70,000 actually means in your bank account. After we pay federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, Medicare, all the stuff they don't teach you in school, you're going to be taking home about $4,200 a month. I want to write this down because I'm going to be giving you all some math here today. Now check this out. Society tells you that $70,000 is good money. Your parents probably think you're doing great. But here's the reality check nobody wants to give you. I've been helping people with their finances for years. And this is the number one complaint I hear. Anthony, I make decent money, but I still feel broke. And you know what I tell them?
60% of the American public is about to lose everything they have. People living paycheck to paycheck are about to go broke. The GDP numbers came in yesterday, and of course the economy receded, which I predicted 2 months ago, and people laughed. Mark my words, the second quarter is going to be far worse. Tariffs on Chinese products at 145% are about to kick in, which means everything you buy from China on Amazon or elsewhere is about to go through the roof. Grocery store shelves are starting to empty at Walmarts across the country. And of course, grocery prices continue to soar. People who've been financing groceries on credit are starting to default on those payments. We are about to see an economic catastrophe. If you're in this 60% that has little or no money, please stop spending money. Protect your family. Trump does not care about you. Even if you voted for him, he's a billionaire. He won't suffer, but you and your family will. Please protect yourself.
You guys put it down in the comments. Let us know what you think. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know, hopefully 2026 brings us some new horizons. But with that, man, until the next one,
Y'all have a blessing.